Good morning and welcome to Friday!
Hooray!
It's the end of the week and
Yay.
we're finishing the week with some...
Sorry, it's a bank holiday weekend.
It is.
We get Monday
we're
off.
Starting the bank holiday weekend
On a
with
high.
Psalm 19.
Yes, we are.
And we're digging into it properly this time, aren't we?
We are.
It's quite exciting.
Yeah. So we've got Psalm 19 and I'm reading it from the NLT version. The heavens proclaim the glory of God. The skies display his craftsmanship. Day after day they continue to speak, and night after night they make him known. They speak without a sound or word. Their voice is never heard. Yet their message has gone throughout the earth, and their words to all the world. God has made a home in the heavens for the sun. It bursts forth like a radiant bridegroom after his wedding. It rejoices like a great athlete eager to run the race. The sun rises at one end of the heavens and follows its course to the other end, and nothing can hide from its heat. The instructions of the Lord are perfect, reviving the soul. The decrees of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. The commandments of the Lord are right, bringing joy to the heart. The commands of the Lord are clear, giving insight for living. Reverence for the Lord is pure, lasting forever. The laws of the Lord are true, each one is fair. They are more desirable than gold, even the finest gold. They are sweeter than honey, even honey dripping from the comb. They are a warning to your servant, a great reward for those who obey him. How can I know all the sins lurking in my heart? Cleanse me from these hidden faults. Keep your servant from deliberate sins. Don't let them control me. Then I will be free of guilt and innocent of great sin. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer.
Well read.
Thank you. This is our second take. It came out much better this time.
We'll see how the rest of it comes out. But...
Yeah. So Psalm 19 is split into three sections. The first section is what the heavens tell, what the creation tells about God. The second section is what scriptures teach. And the third section is David's response, so a prayer about the response to the revelation of creation and scripture. There we go. So the first section of creation, of what creation tells us about God. So David begins by referring to the heavens and the sky as proof of God's creative work. The existent structure and details of nature shout about the reality of a creator. Every hour of every day, God's message is being revealed, and volumes are being communicated 24/7 about the knowledge of God. And this sentence might sound a bit blunt, but I thought it was a really interesting thing I read in a commentary, which said, "There is no language on earth that doesn't hear God's voice. He is not silent. If anyone claims to be an atheist, it's because he is deaf to the voice of creation." And David uses the sun to illustrate how nature reveals God's wisdom. The psalmist describes the heavens above the earth as a huge tent, with the sun lighting the space like a torch. When the sun rises in the morning, its radiant brilliance is like a bridegroom who comes out of his tent beaming with happiness. And when the sun moves in its circuit around the earth, it's like an Olympic winner who enjoys running his race. And another interesting point I found when I was reading around Psalm 19, David, pointing to the sun as God's creative handiwork, also dismantles the idea of idol worship represented in the sun gods. So the idea that God created the sun and that the sun is not a god. There we go.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
But the point is not that creation just looks all right, that it's very impressive, or that God is in creation. The function of the universe announces God's glory and points to him. That's a good sentence. I like that one. We can know that God exists through creation, but general revelation is insufficient for knowing the fullness of God and the fullness of his character. It's only through scripture that we can more fully comprehend what God is like and who he is. God's revelation in scripture is perfect, trustworthy, right, clean, pure, and true. It revives the soul, it brings wisdom, creates joy in the heart, gives enlightenment, and endures forever. That's a good sentence as well. You picked some good ones for me, thanks. God's written revelation in scripture is more valuable than the finest gold, and sweeter to the taste than honey, as we see in verses 7 to 10. These are framed in a poetic repeated structure which echoes some of the book of Proverbs. And then as we get to verse 10, we see that the scriptures are very valuable to David. Why is it that David spent 6 verses talking about natural revelation and general revelation, and then only 2 talking about special revelation? His response focuses on the special revelation. We're thinking that I've lost where I am. I think it's that it.
You're there.
I did so well on this. We're redeeming it a little bit now. I think that it is because natural revelation is designed to bring you to the recognition of the need of special revelation. There we go.
Special revelation is really important.
Yeah.
And natural revelation points to the need of special revelation in Scripture.
That's it. That's exactly what I said.
Well done. Carry on.
Special revelation is more important. It's where our focus should be. We should look at the rest of the world through the lens of Scripture. So then David responds in the third part of this psalm, taking in the beauty of creation and understanding the message of scriptural revelation, saying, "How can I know all the sins lurking in my heart? Cleanse me from the hidden faults. Keep your servant from deliberate sins. Don't let them control me. Then I will be free of guilt and innocent of great sin." And then finally, the one I'm sure is very familiar, "May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer."
Thank you.
It was much better than the last take, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Believe it or not.
This is miles better than our last take. So it's really good to reflect on creation and understanding how its 24/7 revelation points to God. But this revelation also points us into Scripture, which then further reveals God's character. And we should be looking at our whole world through the lens of Scripture, not just nature, but in our relationships, in our work, in our finances, in business, in whatever it is you do in your world. And then we can respond to this psalm in a personal way. David prayed the prayer in verses 12 to 14 that Samuel just read, but you may want to respond in a different way.
There you go. Bit of a longer one from us today.
Yeah.
But I hope you enjoy it. Have a wonderful bank holiday.
Woo!
And we won't
Let's
see you
pray.
on Monday because it's a bank holiday.
I know, let's pray the sun comes out and stays out.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.